I'm Managing Editor Kim Schmidt. Welcome to On the Record. Here's a look at what's currently impacting the ag equipment industry. Could 3D printing revolutionize the parts and service department in the dealership of tomorrow? Robert Sake, author of the Agriculture Manifesto and founder and CEO of the Agritrend Group, thinks 3D printing is one of the drivers that will shape agriculture in the next decade. John Cobb, Executive Vice President of Corporate Affairs with Stratasys, says for dealerships to start using the technology to print parts, the OEMs need to feel comfortable that their original designs would be safeguarded and only printed out by their dealers. Kathy Lewis, CMO of 3D Systems, agrees.
It just depends on that timing of having the digital file, making sure that it's been designed for this purpose, that it absolutely matches the manufacturer's intent. So there would be a partnership here, obviously, between the manufacturer and the dealer, and then they could begin the whole concept of printing parts on demand, and storage would become a digital file. And obviously, they would want to do this to save money, to improve turnaround time, and to really respond to customers very, very quickly.
Depending on the machine, the material being used, and the object size, this process can take a few hours or a few days. 3D printers can print a variety of materials, including wax, various plastics, metal, and ceramics. Resins can also be used by some 3D printers. 3D printer manufacturer 3D Systems recently added direct metal 3D printing to its portfolio. But direct metal 3D printing comes with a higher price tag, Lewis says. The company offers 3 printer sizes ranging in cost from $250,000 to $800,000. Lewis says some of the plastics that 3D printers use have the same longevity and mechanical properties as some metals and are much lighter weight. Plastic printers can cost as little as $5,000, but most that are used in end-use manufacturing range from $300,000 to $700,000. While there are hurdles to overcome, both Cobb and Lewis agree we could see 3D printers in dealerships as soon as 5 years from now. On July 29th, AGCO reported net sales of about $2.8 billion, a 9.8% decrease versus the second quarter of 2013. For the first 6 months of 2014, net sales were $5.1 billion, down 6.7% versus the same period last year. In response to weakening order trends during the quarter, AGCO Chairman and CEO Martin Richenhagen says the company took aggressive actions to cut production, manage inventory levels, reduce operating expenses, and generate cash flow. AGCO will maintain these priorities during the second half of the year. CNH Industrial reported on July 30th its second quarter revenues totaled $8.9 billion, up 0.9% versus the second quarter of 2013. Net income came in at $358 million for the quarter, a 2.8% increase versus the same period last year. However, for the first half of 2014, net income was down 8% versus 2013. For the agricultural equipment segment, revenues for the quarter were down 2.3% and down 4% for the half. On August 5th, Kubota reported that revenues for the 3 months ended June 30th were up 0.3% to $3.5 billion versus the same period of 2013. Revenues in the farm and industrial machinery segment were $2.9 billion, almost the same level as in the corresponding period in the prior year. In North America, sales of tractors expanded sharply, mainly due to the effects of launching a new line of products. The company's outlook for the full year ending March 31, 2015, remains unchanged from its previous forecast, calling for overall revenues to increase by 2.7%. Claas's long talked about entry into the North American tractor market is upon us. The company gave North American editors a sneak peek at its new Xerion tractor that's designed specifically for the North American market during its Lexion Adventures in the Field event July 16th and 17th in Omaha, Nebraska. Claas will officially introduce the tractor to the rest of the industry later this month during the Farm Progress Show in Boone, Iowa, and later at Husker Harvest Days in Grand Island, Nebraska. With 435 to 530 horsepower from MTU Mercedes-Benz engines, it would compete with U.S. favorites on tracks and tires, but with a rigid four-wheel drive chassis, multi-mode four-wheel steering, and stepless CVT drive. Claas also recently opened a new company-owned and operated dealership in Regina, Saskatchewan, near its newly opened Parts and Logistics Center and Regional Training Academy. Tingley's Harvest Center also recently opened in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, and carries Claas's full line of equipment. Trimble, a manufacturer of positioning technologies and software, released its latest earnings report on August 5th and saw second quarter revenues grow 11% year over year. However, its field solutions sector saw a 1% drop in revenues due to weakness in sales of agriculture products. Trimble CEO Steve Berglund said, "It's becoming clear that the effects of lower commodity prices are now impacting us more than we had originally anticipated. As a result, the company aims to reduce its reliance on agriculture and shift its focus to its other business sectors to be more balanced." For the third quarter, Trimble is expecting a 7% sequential decline. Through the first 6 months of the year, the Association of Equipment Manufacturers reported high horsepower tractor sales in the U.S. were down 10.3%, and in Canada they're up less than 1% versus the first half of last year. In the 34th UBS Agricultural Dealer Survey, released July 25th, dealers were asked, what factors are preventing high horsepower sales from declining even further? Of the respondents, about half indicated that healthy balance sheets and farm income cash receipts are preventing further high horsepower sales declines, with 27% and 25% respectively. The third highest response was equipment purchase incentives at 21%. While demand for high horsepower tractors has been on the decline, sales for small equipment have remained strong. The survey asked dealers, do you anticipate demand for small equipment will remain healthy for the rest of the year? 79% of dealers indicated they expect a healthy demand level for small equipment through the remainder of the year. Rocky Mountain Dealerships reported its second quarter results for 2014, August 5th. Total revenues increased by 1.8% to $242.4 million from the same period last year. Gross profit increased 5.2%, and inventory decreased by $13.3 million to $522.2 million. Second quarter new equipment sales increased 1.2% compared to last year, while used equipment sales decreased 1.7%. Rocky Mountain CEO Matt Campbell said, as agriculture industry demand cycles to lower levels of whole good unit sales, a strong product support business helps to maintain stable cash flows. Sales in these departments increased for the second consecutive quarter compared to the same period last year. This drove an improvement in our gross profit. Campbell announced August 5th that he and Derek Stimson, Rocky Mountain's president, will be retiring effective December 31st, 2014. Both will remain as directors of Rocky Mountain, with Campbell remaining chairman of the board of directors. He and Stimson founded Rocky Mountain Dealerships together in 2007. And now from the Ag Equipment Archives. In 1923, John Deere built the first Model D prototype, despite the severe farm economy depression at the time. The first Model D rode on steel wheels with a 6.5 by 7 inch 2-cylinder hand-cranked engine rated at 15 to 27 horsepower. By 1925, the company realized the standard Model D did not meet customers' needs for industrial applications. Steel wheels were not suitable for hard surfaces, and the gearing was too slow for safe road speeds. Solid rubber tires were added, and engineers fitted a 28-tooth sprocket to the final drive, giving a road speed of 4 miles per hour. The Model D was produced from March 1, 1923 to July 3, 1953, the longest production span of all 2-cylinder John Deere tractors. During that period, over 160,000 were made. As always, we welcome your feedback. You can send comments to kschmidt@lespub.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.